Howdy everyone, Matt here. I got a question for you. How much do you think personal experience should play into physical therapy? Let's talk about it. All right, everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I am Matt the PT, coming at you with another video, another topic of something in the physical therapy world. And this is personal experience. How much do we take that into account? And do we just like to pick and choose when personal experience is valid or whatnot? Now, this has really come about with social media. So, you're watching me here on a social media platform, but I really feel like there are times that we as therapists pick and choose when personal experience is a valid thing to say, for someone to say, versus when there's times when people say like personal experience is not a valid thing to say. And ultimately, I don't think it's healthy that we do this. Now, this came about because a few weeks ago, I saw a back and forth between two therapists, and one person had posted something about a treatment. And they said, I utilize this treatment because it increases blood flow, just to the head or something like that. And the other person goes, no, do you have any evidence on that? Because I don't believe that's right. There's nothing I can find on it, and you're completely wrong. And the other person goes, well, my chronic pain patients think otherwise. I'm very happy to talk with you on it or have you come in the clinic with me and spend time, and maybe you would change your mind. The other person, no, I'm not going to do that because you're completely wrong and your personal experience is biased and it should not be whatsoever. You're wrong. And ultimately, at the end of the day, neither person changed their mind on anything, and both people most likely walked away kind of angry at each other, and they're not, allies. They're not, working together whatsoever. And that really got me thinking that, again, why do we as therapists pick and choose when a personal experience is valid or not? Because, we understand that personal experience has a lot of factors that go into it. Many, many things can go into why we say something is good or bad or whatnot. But looking at this interaction, this first therapist saying that this treatment is beneficial. So their personal experience is, well, I've utilized this treatment at least once before or several times before, reading this back and forth, and they find that it is a valid treatment for people coming in and being seen. And how do we know what all goes on? Again, multifactorial. We don't know this person's background. We don't know what kind of patients they're actually seeing outside of chronic pain. So we don't know what kind of background these people have. We don't know really anything about this situation and why this person is possibly using this treatment and saying that they are getting this results. Now, they did offer to say, hey, you can come see why I'm having this kind of experience and why I utilize it, but it got rejected. No. I'm not going to, because that is absolutely incorrect. I'm not going to do that. And it doesn't seem like we do that. We so often, I see people post about treatments, and when somebody says, well, this treatment is not effective, so we do blank treatment, it's not effective, and it needs to be thrown out and never utilized again. But they'll be there in the comments that people will say, well, I've utilized that and I've found good results with it. And what ultimately happens is the person gets attacked. No, you're wrong. You're biased about that. You just want it to be true. We don't know. It's probably not true. But again, how do we know that? How do we know any of these things? This person is saying like, hey, I'm getting a result with it. And then other people are going, I'm just going to assume that what your experience is not true because of all these other factors I want to put into it. And I've even seen this outside of treatment stuff. I know, if you know me, I do stuff with the state and national level, and there were discussions about roles of men and women in certain positions. So the one I witnessed was about professors in PT schools. And one person was saying, we need to have more women as professors of PT school because in my experience, it's only been men. Well, another person spoke up and said, well, I know in my experience, I've had more women that have been in it. Well, this other person immediately attacked him and said, no. Your experience is absolutely incorrect. Mine is more valid. And that's what it really did. It just went back and forth. And again, the second person didn't, switch and go over to their side. Now, I understand there's evidence behind that, but none of the evidence was brought up. It was only personal experience on it that this person was saying. I understand that you're saying that your personal experience is this, but this was my personal experience on it. And to be immediately attacked and saying like your experience is not valid whatsoever, that person wasn't really willing to change their mind. Now, again, I understand there's a lot of research and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind that stuff. I'm not discussing all of that. I'm just saying that person, when we dismiss their personal experience, it didn't help them. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're enjoying it so far, please hit that thumbs up button. Now back to the video. Now, with all that being said, think about when we do apply personal experience. It's with our patients. We are very quick to say, yes, your personal experience is completely valid. What you went through, what you expressed, what you feel, yes, that is all true. That is all true. We will give that to patients and say, yeah, your personal experience is 100% true, 100% valid. We're going to make that a part of your treatment. So again, if we went back to those patients from that first example and had someone come in and they said, well, I had this treatment and I felt so good. And I think, it's just, would you tell that person, no, what you experienced was incorrect, was wrong. You were wrong to feel that. It did nothing for you. No, because the evidence didn't show that. Most likely, we're not going to do that. We're not going to tell a person, no, what you experienced was incorrect with that treatment, because then that person's like, well, what did I experience? They can have a lot of stuff going on in their brain and going, well, now I'm very, very confused. You get that? So why would we do it to our colleagues, but then turn around with our patients and say, no, your experience is valid because, we want to build that therapeutic alliance with one another to say, yes, I believe you. I'm on your side. We're going to work together to get better, but we don't do that with one another. It's the most ridiculous things. And I just wanted to talk about this and just to bring it about, because I really feel like if we keep doing this, we're not going to make much progress. Yes, there are people out there who utilize treatments that maybe there's not really good research on. Again, I know of therapists who do ultrasound on everybody, or throw hot packs on everybody, or do just, anything on everybody. But don't you think it's valid to reach out to that person? It's like, why are you doing that? Can you explain why? What results do you think that you're really, really getting? Can you show these other things and get that person talking and expressing what they see? And then that could be a point where it's like, hey, let's have a discussion then. You're utilizing this, saying that you're getting these results. Well, I've read some research on this that said that this possibly could do what you're expecting that right there, but it could get better outcomes on it. That could be, and you put that thing into the person's mind that they may say, well, I'm going to, maybe they could change it, because, Tony Robbins talks about this, about how people make a change. Nobody just wakes up and, just busts and be like, oh, that's it. I'm completely changing everything. It is made in a snap moment, but it's something that's built over time. So kind of going back to, again, that first talk between the two therapists, that if the second person told the first one, you're wrong, do you think they just went, oh my gosh, you are 100% correct? I'm sorry. I see the light now. I'm going to go do that. No. But maybe if there was that talk of saying, hey, well, why do you utilize that? Well, because of this. Hey, what if I showed you some other evidence of stuff out there? Or again, hey, let's have a talk. why are you doing that? Why do you do this? Okay, well, what is your beliefs on behind this? And what, again, and then we start a dialogue back and forth. And that's often when people change their minds or do stuff to say, hey, I want to listen to you. I want to validate, and you're ultimately saying, I'm validating your personal experiences and things like that. But hey, here's some of my personal experience because I maybe believed that at one time, or maybe I thought about it. I want to share this with you, and I want to listen to you just like we do with our patients. So, and I think that would just be overall much better for us in the rehab world. Yes, we can have different views, and I think it's great that we all have different views and approaches and all that. We need that. We need that. But if we sit here just attacking somebody and saying that your stuff is not beneficial and what you believe is wrong, it's not going to help us. Ultimately, it's not going to help us. I know for myself, I feel like I'm rambling here. I'll wrap it up. But what we do with patients needs to apply so much in our real life. We're not going to tell a patient what you experienced was absolutely incorrect. You're wrong. And I'm going to give you a 57-point, presentation on why you're wrong. And I'm not going to listen to you. We're not going to do that because we know this person will leave, and then, they're going to go away and not seek and possibly again go to what they experienced. But if we have a dialogue, we build a rapport with that person. Maybe they do end up changing their mind on it. So there we go. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about your personal experience? Do you feel like you're able to change people's mind, or your mind changes the more that you talk about stuff? Do you think that helps people as well? Do you think it's beneficial that we need to open this up? Do we really need to say, hey, let's get a better dialogue going on? So if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button down there. Thank you so much for all of those who have, and consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you a copay. And again, that's something that helps out so much. So until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of your patients. We'll see you then.